Hey everyone, today we're talking about the Bunn 23001.0017 CWTF15-APS Automatic Airpot Coffee Brewer, worth grabbing if you're serving coffee all day long. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've used this in a busy office kitchen and at a small cafe, and it's one of those machines that quietly keeps up without drama. It brews up to 3.8 gallons per hour. So if you've got a steady line of people needing refills, this thing won't quit. The Airpot itself isn't included, but that's actually a plus. You can pick the size that fits your setup, whether it's a 2-liter or a 4-liter. I ended up going with the 4-liter because we go through a lot of coffee during lunch rushes, and it handled the volume without breaking a sweat. One thing that surprised me was how consistent the temperature stays. Bunn's always been good at that, but this model really locks in the heat so the coffee doesn't go lukewarm halfway through the pot. That's huge when you're serving a room full of people who all want their coffee hot, not warm. Plus, the stainless steel construction feels solid, no flimsy plastic parts that'll crack after a few months. It's built to last, which is exactly what you want in a commercial-style brewer. I also like that it's straightforward to use. You just set the brew time, fill the tank, and let it do its thing. No complicated settings or confusing menus. That's important in a busy environment where you don't have time to fiddle with buttons. And because it's automatic, you can walk away and trust it'll keep brewing fresh batches as needed. I've had situations where we'd run out of coffee mid-morning, and this machine made it easy to top up without disrupting the workflow. Another practical detail is the water filtration system built in. It's not something you notice until you don't have to deal with scale buildup as often. We had a lot less sediment in our coffee after switching to this, which made a noticeable difference in taste. If you've ever dealt with a coffee maker that leaves a bitter aftertaste because of old water, you'll appreciate this feature. Now, it's not perfect for everyone. The biggest downside is the size. It's not something you'll want in a tiny break room. It takes up a fair amount of counter space, so if you're working with limited room, this might not be the best fit. Also, since the Airpot isn't included, you'll need to budget for that separately. It's not a huge extra cost, but it's something to keep in mind. All in all, if you're running a small cafe, a busy office, or even just hosting a large gathering where coffee is a must, this brewer is a solid investment. It's reliable, keeps the coffee hot, and makes the whole process effortless. The build quality is top-notch, and the filtration really does improve the taste. So if you're in the market for a commercial-style coffee brewer that can keep up with demand, this is one to consider. Check it out using the link below, and let me know in the comments if you've tried it or have any questions. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Bunn 23001.0017 CWTF15-APS Automatic Airpot Coffee Brewer, 3.8 gallons per hour, Airpot sold separately, 120V, sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like package dimensions and product type actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. What stands out about Bunn 23001.0017 CWTF15-APS Automatic Airpot Coffee Brewer, 3.8 gallons per hour, Airpot sold separately, 120V, is how it seems positioned for buyers who want something practical, easy to understand, and worthwhile beyond the first impression. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Bunn 23001.0017 CWTF15-APS Automatic Airpot Coffee Brewer, 3.8 gallons per hour, Airpot sold separately, 120V, usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.